Hey horror fans, welcome back. Today is episode 30 of my Halloween edition reviews, in case you haven't been keeping up. This time I'm going to be reviewing definitely one of my favorite Stephen King movies. Like I said, my favorite one was always Creepshow 2. This time I'm going to be reviewing, a lot of people say it's a classic, and I agree, Pet Sematary, the Special Collector's Edition. For those of you who don't remember this movie, which I'm pretty sure everybody does, this is probably the best one. There's a second one. It was alright, but I didn't really like how it was. It was just too different from the first one. Anyways, this film is about a family, the Creed family, and the father, who's a doctor, his name is Lewis. He is basically haunted by a ghost named Pascal, sorry. And he's trying to warn them about, do not go into the cemetery because the ground itself is sour, basically meaning those who get buried there come back as evil. Like, just plain evil. They have no recollection of their actual life, just hate. So anyways, Lewis has no clue what he's talking about, so what happens is, later on in the film, their cat, that's the reason it's on, the cat's eye is on the cover, the cat ends up dying. It's really just his daughter's cat, but anyways, he doesn't want her to feel bad, so what he does, his neighbor Judd Crandall, played very well by Fred Gwynne. This was actually his last movie, sadly. What happens is, he shows the family Pet Sematary, but like when the cat dies, he decides, you know what, Lewis, I'm going to show you a way to where you do not have to live with the heartbreak of your child. So he takes him to the far side of the cemetery, the place where it's not to be entered. And it ends up turning out to be an Indian burial ground. And he buries Church, that's the cat's name, inside the soft part, the part that's basically fresh of the cemetery. And what happens? Comes back to life a day later, and yeah, it might be alive, but it's certainly not living. Like, it's moving and everything, but it's rotting. Like, the cat itself is rotting. And the daughter, who the actress, I can't really remember her name, but she's played by two girls, twins actually, and she annoys me a little bit, but other than that, this is still a great movie. And here's the back of it. There's Church right there. Sometimes a pet isn't just for life. And this film was great, and you hear this a lot in the film, sometimes dead is better. There's Lewis right in front of the cemetery. Like, for those of you who don't really remember the VHS cover, it had Pascal's eyes on it. Pascal is a good ghost, and he's just trying to warn Lewis, do not do what you're thinking about doing, but of course Lewis does it anyways. And then what ends up happening, sadly, Gage, played by Miko Hughes, I think that's how you pronounce his name. This was one of Miko Hughes' first movies, actually. He ends up getting run over by a truck trying to catch the kite, and you're like, oh no! No! Like, when I first saw this when I was little, I was like in shock about it. And then right at the funeral, his father-in-law blames Lewis for the death of his son, for the death of Gage. And what happens is they get into a fight over it. They accidentally knock over the coffin, which is a really big sin anyways. So Lewis gets really pissed off at his father-in-law. They get into an even bigger fight, and his wife and a friend break it up. And then the father-in-law apologizes and everything, and then one apology leads to another apology. And then what happens, Lewis starts to feel guilty and just buries Gage right in the pet cemetery to see what happens to a human being. Evil incarnate in the form of a little boy. This film is great. Like, if you see it, you'll say the same thing. Oh, Stephe King's got some true blue talent with this film. I have yet to read the book, but I hear from a lot of people it's just as good as the movie. Like, of course, the book came first. And anybody who hasn't seen this and is a horror fan needs to see it. Like, this is a true blue classic right here. And I would hate for the douchebags, excuse my language, douchebags of filmmakers today trying to rip this off as a remake. I cannot stand remakes that don't stay true to a good movie. And this right here is a great movie. So please, Hollywood, stay away from this movie. This deserves to be kept the way it is. It doesn't deserve a remake. Like, it's best just to leave it as a great movie as what it is. Anyways, that's my review over Pet Sematary. I give it a 10 out of 10. Great film. Great acting, other than the little girl, which totally annoys me. And just great comedy. Like, it's got some pretty funny scenes in it. And there's a part in this about a girl with, I forget what the disease is called, but she gets really, really skinny and she has problems with her back. And she's just creepy. Like it's actually a man playing the part, but still it's just plain creepy. But anyways, pick this up at your local Walmart. You can get it for $5. That's how much I paid for it. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth a lot of money. So anyways, that's my review over this amazing film, Pet Sematary. Tell me what you thought of it. And I'm out. Be back tomorrow with another review.